right, so let's talk about how we're going to structure this lab, as it's a little bit more complicated. Okay. So this is a lot of steps. And so this is a lab that I have done in the past. And it usually happens over the course of 2 weeks, and it really takes the entire 2 weeks. So we will see how it works online. So I'm going to focus a little bit on less other videos for the next couple of weeks. It's also Easter, and so you should go off and do something with family members. And what I've done is each of the labs is we've broken you guys down into different countries, and there are separate discussion forums for each country. So let's just look at the 6 p.m. lab on Tuesday, because that's going to be the first one. It'll be a good example. So one of the things that is on the course website, there is a spreadsheet. And when you download that spreadsheet, I'm just going to put it on my desktop. But it's going to download here in my browser. And so when it opens up, all right, and I'm going to bring it back over to the record window. Okay. Is that you're going to see your name and you're going to see your nation block that you have been assigned to. And I put everyone's emails in here because you as a team, say these 4 folks, you're going to be assigned to the USA in the Tuesday lab. So you're going to focus on worrying about what's valuable and useful and what the United States would agree with. Same with everybody else who's assigned to China, the developing nations, the developed nations, India, and Europe. So you've got your smaller teams. Okay, close that. And so in these forums here, this is the United States forum. What you're going to do is you're going to reply to this, you are the United States. And so you're going to have your discussion in this forum about what would be a good plan to put forward for the United States. Now you could do this potentially as just doing it offline, and so you as a group of 4 people who's representing the US or China could also schedule a Skype call or a Zoom call or something like that if you wanted to. I'm going to leave that up to the group of 4. So one of the first things you should do is identify your team members and email each other and make sure that you guys know what time zone you guys are in, and then be prepared to work together on your team. Okay. Now I'm going to go back here. And so then basically over the first week, and I'll update a deadline for this, but think of this as over a 2-week window, that you as the United States will put forth a plan. Okay, and you're going to draft up a plan. And there's a proposal form up here at the top that can give you a little bit of guidance associated with it. You don't have to use this form if you don't want to, but it can be just a useful guide. So I'm going to show you what it looks like in that initial form. So basically it's looking at your region, your peak year, your reduction rates, and it just basically allows you to record that basic information. Okay, that's going to include your plan. Now in the lab, you're going to see where you have to put together kind of a little bit of a PowerPoint where you have to share your plan with others. And what you're going to do is once you've got your plan developed in the climate simulation big whole lab discussion. Right, sorry, I skipped that step kind of fast. So there's a master discussion. This is for the entire lab, and each lab has one. The climate simulation negotiation on Wednesday at 9, Wednesday at 3, Friday at 9. So you're going to click on that, and in here, whoever is going to be your designated person from, say, the United States or China is going to upload your plan and put the details here. What I would recommend is that you do your plan in like Google Slides or something like that, because then you can just include a link. Don't forget to make it shareable to Google Slides so that everybody can view it. And then what happens is the entire lab's responsibility is to look at each of the proposals, and then decide on which of the proposals that they would like to support. And then what I will do is probably in a week or 2, I'll put in a poll for each of the lab sections, and then the lab sections will vote on which plan that they think would be the best one to go forward. Okay, and our goal is we have to convince 3/4 of all the delegates to be able to agree to the plan, or maybe roughly about 2/3. We're doing the 6, so we got a 4 out of 6 nation blocks, so that's about 2/3 of the folks. As opposed to having each nation vote, I'm going to have us all vote on this one, so you guys can decide, or you can decide that you as a nation will decide to vote as a whole, and that means all your delegates, all the people representing that nation votes for the same plan. So that will be up to you guys. And it looks like I've got a little error in my typo here. Tuesday lab, Wednesday I will fix that. But that's just a label. All right. So that is the same thing that's true with all of these. Okay. And there will be an upload form. I'm going to make this lab go live. I am currently waiting for my other computer, which currently crashed today, which has the file on it, to upload the file. And I'm hoping that will happen today. I made a backup of everything except this file. So this is a slightly older version, and I made some changes to it, so I don't like that one. All right. Last thing is you'll see up here the briefing statements. You definitely will want to read your briefing statement for your nation blocks. Right. So if you end up being China, you're going to get a briefing statement and this will tell you what is important and valuable for China. Right. So China's got its goals. All right. And it's got some context associated with it. It's got both what the nation as a whole wants to do, its opinion, and things like that. All right. Now, and that is our lab for the week.